We're over halfway through 2023 and with a ton of Pokemon stock out there and reprints coming this month in July, what a great pickups to add into your collection or to invest in into long term this month in July. Well, we're going to find out right now. Alright guys, we are back with another bunch of sealed product to pick up this month in July. Now, I haven't done one of these videos in a while, ones where I do like a month by month, but I thought, you know what, there's been a lot changing. We've got the announcements of reprints of Silver Tempest and Lost Origin, and a small reprint slash restock of Brilliant Stars coming, and we've also had a ton of just product in general. I mean, there's just been so much out there, with the Charizard UPCs being really cheap, a ton of Pander Evolve, a ton of Scarlet and Violet base. There's just now's a great time, to be honest. Now's a great time to buy a lot of products, some just to crack open, some to just keep sealed if you really want to, or if you want to collect and invest in the long term. Now's a good time. You know, always good to buy when stuff is cheap, and I'll tell you what, it is cheap right now. We're going to be taking a look today at TCG Player, and I'll also be touching on the prices of these products over here in the UK to give you guys, where I am, better idea of what's going on as well. All right, let's get into the first one. Okay, first up we have Pander Evolve. This is a, you know, I have to admit, I like the set. I do like the set. Booster boxes are quite easy to get hold of. They are really cheap, and I think you realistically you can't go wrong with a cheap booster box. You really can't. We saw it in the Sword and Shield era, right? We saw it with Battle Stars, we saw it with Chill and Rain, we saw it with Fusion Strike. They were all really cheap, you know, and especially Fusion Strike, and especially, you know, Chill and Rain up in value. They're doing really well, in all honesty. I mean, even like Silver Tempest is doing really well. So there are some sets that are doing incredibly well. And Battle Styles, it's trickling up. It's getting there. But there's been a lot of that. So it's on its way up, which is pretty good. Pander Evolve isn't a bad set. Let's be fair. It's not a bad set. There are some beautiful cards. There's some good valuable cards, especially when that Iono SAR, big card that everybody wants. You know, it's holding over $100. Which is very good. It's doing a lot better than the Miriam and Scarlet and Violet base. So, you know, and we've got some good, strong illustration rares. The Tyranitar, the Magikarp. So you've got some good chase cards. And overall, I think the artwork in the set is really good. Pokemon are really stepping up in Scarlet and Violet. I think, you know, since Sun and Moon and then Sword and Shield and now Scarlet and Violet, they've done very well in the art department. They just smashed out of the park. Let's take a look at this. So over the past 3 months, or since its release, it has been dropping. Now's a good time to pick them up cheap. I've seen some people say, you know, Jace, I've been picking up Pander Evolve booster boxes for under $100. The fact is 102 on TCG Player. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So the highest point it was around 120, and then it has dropped. Don't forget, there's probably going to be more of this coming out as well in the future. You know, don't forget, it's the most recent set, right? We've got Obsidian Flames dropping in August, and then 151 dropping in September. I mean, they're back to back. It's a bit crazy. But Pander Evolved, good set, cheap to pick up if you want to crack packs. Pull rates are pretty good as well, so if you want to crack the packs, it's a pretty good, decent set as well. I'm enjoying it, to be fair. I do enjoy it more than Scarlet and Violet base, and I do feel there's some really nice cards in it, so pretty good. Pick up for around $102. Over here in the UK, you can actually pick these up for about £100. Crazy, right? £100. Don't forget, MSRP went up, so yeah, really good. The fact is that we can pick these up for around 100 to 105 is really good. So now's a good time to get some Pander Evolved. Okay, but carry on the train with cheap, super cheap. Talking about Pander Evolved, we can't not talk about Scarlet and Violet base set. The value of the single cards have been dropping. They're not the most expensive cards, to be fair. You know, Miriam's like $50. All the other cards are a lot cheaper. It's not great. It's not great. Compared to Pander Evolve, it doesn't compare, right? But this is still super cheap, under $100. Now, the last time we had a set that was under 100 was Battle Stars, but then Chill and Rain was under 100, and Fusion Strike was under 100. Now, if you pick those up, you know, take Chill and Rain, Fusion Strike at $90 where it was, or under $100, or even $100, you're doing pretty well. And I'm not saying the Scarlet and Violet base is like those sets, and what I'm saying is it's cheap. I bought some. I have to admit, I have bought some. I have bought some more Pander, and I have bought some more Scarlet and Violet. I was going to have one of each, but when I saw how cheap they've been, and they've become, picked up some more. I picked up 2 more of each, so I now have 3 of each, 3 Pander Evolve, 3 Scarlet and Violet base. And, you know, I like the set. I got the cards I want, so I got all the chase cards I want now. I actually went out of my way and bought the individual cards I want from this set, rather than cracking packs and things like that, even though it is cheap. So if you do want to crack packs, super cheap, under $100. You could probably find it probably cheaper as well, other than TCG Player. Over here in the UK, again, like Pander Evolve, £100 a box, pretty good going, right? Pretty good going. So really cheap set to get. You know, pull rates basically identical to Pander Evolve. Overall, I think it's a strong base set, but it is cheap, so great little pickup. Right, next up we have VStar Universe. Now, I don't normally talk about Japanese sets that much. However, I love VStar Universe. VMAX Climax as well. These like high class sets in Japanese, in my opinion, are fantastic. VMAX Climax has been going up, so it's now getting quite pricey. Johnny Star V, quite pricey. And then we've got the Tag Team All-Stars, really pricey. VStar Universe, it's on the uptick, guys. We take a look over the past 6 months of this booster box. And don't forget, the prices were really inflated when it first came out because the hype was real. You know, waifu was Japanese, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then it sold. A lot of stock was available. People can get booster boxes for a lot cheaper. And we've seen that, right? We had the hype money over $100. And then it did go to as low as 83. Still quite high, but 83, that's a lot better. As you can see, it's now on the uptick. On eBay, booster boxes are around 110. They are on the uptick. We see it here in the UK. It's been going up as well. Now, booster boxes, I mean, I picked up some not too long ago. They're about £80 a box, approaching £100. They're on the uptick. So keep an eye out for VStar Universe. It is a fantastic set. It's basically Crown Zenith, but in Japanese. It is a high class set. You know, you do get a ton of hits in it. It was great to open as well. We had great fun opening it on the streams. So this is still a really good set to pick up that isn't that expensive. Okay, talking of Crown Zenith, we have the premium figure collection boxes. One with a set of 2, Zacian and Zamazenta. It doesn't really matter which one you buy. You know, you can buy both. You can buy whichever one you like. The favorite, they're basically the same. Often it's just different promos and the different figures between Zacian and Zamazenta. But these are really, really good products. I always say premium is key, right? I always say premium is key, and I think these are great. Crown Zenith, we know, fantastic set. This is good value for money, to be perfectly honest. Like, you know, there's no denying it. This is good value for money. I think these are probably just better for your money than an ETB. If you've got to crack packs, you know, value packs, you know, in the product is pretty decent. We've got $104 for both of them. You get 22 packs, so 11 in each. I know it's a weird odd number, but you get 11 in each in both of these. You get the promos, you get sleeves, you get the figure as well, and you get the pin. You get a ton of stuff, to be honest. So you're looking at what? Just over $50, $52 each. Pretty good. In all honesty, that's less than $5 a pack in this box. And you get the promo and you get all the other bits and bobs inside as well, which is really, really good. Now, Crown Zenith is a fantastic set, even though the single card prices are dropping because this set has been printed an absolute ton. This is still really good. You know, the ETB is still really good. This is also a really good one that I like to keep hold of. I've bought a ton of these because these are just good value. I do have one of each of these sealed that I want to keep just in my collection. But I do feel like they're going to do pretty well. Like, let's be honest, I don't normally aim for collection boxes unless it's premium. Same for like the milk cartons, you know, they're pretty good as well. Stuff like that I think are really good. If it's premium, like I say, it's key, and I do feel like this is a really good one. Will it go up in value over time? It probably will. You know, once Crown Zenith is out of print, you know, the stock's drying out, you know, people love the set. We're going to go back in a few years' time. People are like, oh my god, how amazing is Crown Zenith? Then we were looking at these going, yep, when we start seeing Crown Zenith booster packs start going up and up and up, probably will follow suit similar to Hidden Fates, which is obviously a really good one. Speaking of Hidden Fates, I got to add this in the list, mainly because it's been now on the uptick. It's now been on the uptick, not just over in the US, but over here in the UK as well. This has actually been going up. Now, over here, it's actually a lot cheaper, but let's take a look at this. $176 for the ETB. I still have 12 in my collection. Haven't actually bought that many more for a long time. I've actually bought some and then opened them for the streams, but I haven't really bought any for a long time. I do want to try and get 100 one day, maybe one day. But this is such a brilliant set. Like, in my opinion, I think it's one of the best modern sets of Pokemon, to be perfectly honest. $176. It has been going up over the past 3 months. We go back 6 months, it's been on the uptick. You know, to be fair, it's been quite steady, not massive jumps, but it's been quite steady, and it's going to start slowly climbing. I've been seeing the promo as well start going up in price. Like, that went from like $10 to $15 or something like that. That's now on the uptick as well. Single booster packs like $18 to $19 a pack. They're all going up across the board for Hidden Fates. It's a set that got printed a hell of a lot. Now there's becoming less and less and less, and it's just slowly getting more and more expensive over time. So, you know, if you haven't grabbed it, now's a good time. Over here, you could pick them up for about $1.5, $1.10. A lot cheaper. You know, a lot cheaper. But also, it has been going up. You know, you were able to pick some up maybe about 3 months ago for around about 95. It's going up again, just a little bit, just ever so slightly. You know, by the end of the year, we could be seeing obviously going up even more. I don't know about how much, but we could see it go up even more. Maybe it might reach $200 in ETB. Who knows? I do think Crown Zenith will follow suit, similar to Hidden Fates, down the line, I think. But right now, Hidden Fates is doing really, really well. Then finally, I'm going to talk about some EvolutionsXY. This is an expensive one. If you've got the money, then that's fair enough. $758. This set has been going all over the show. I mean, as you can see, the past year, over $800, and it did dip to 700, and it's around that 750, 760 mark. Now, that's actually quite interesting. This set has gone all over the show. You know, during the pandemic, it went up to 1,000, and it's got dropped back down. It's been going up. It's always been around that $700 mark to 800 for the past year, as you can see. Now, I picked mine up 2021, I think, something like that, and that cost me $650, so £650 for the XY Evolutions booster box. Over here, at 700, I would say between 700 to 750. So they've been going up a little bit. A lot of XY boxes have been going up in price, okay? A lot of them are going up, and a lot of Sun and Moon era booster boxes have also been going up. We've seen some real crazy ones like Team Up and things like that. But because XY Evolutions contains a lot of the OGs, okay, and there's a lot of nostalgia built into it, you know, we're getting that with 151 when that comes out. It has a place in people's heart, right? Even though this set was printed loads back in the day, like loads, it is still a really, really expensive product, but it is still really good. Big fan favorite. People enjoy it. The chase for the Charizard is real. Even though the single card prices aren't actually that expensive, but the print quality, if you manage to get a good quality and graded Charizards, that's where the money's at. Although, you know, it's a bit of a weird set where, you know, the individual card prices aren't that expensive. The booster boxes are. And I think this is a great one to keep sealed for the long term. This is one that you want to look for 5-10 years plus, and you know, that's what I'm doing with mine. I'm keeping hold of mine. I will look at pick up another one because I do want to do an XY Evolutions box break when we reach 10k subs, because I think that'd be epic. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great set to keep hold of. There you have it, guys. Those are some products that you can pick up right now in July. Now, like I said, there are some that are quite cheap, to be fair. You know, Pander Evolve, Scarlet and Violet base, these are bargains sets. You know, these are great ones. Crown Zenith is just a good set. You know, that is one that people will like in the future. Hidden Face on the uptick, which is actually, you know, kind of about time. I do love it, so it's nice to see it going up. VStar Universe, you know, dipping into Japan, it is a really good set. And booster boxes are now kind of going back to where they were at the hype level, but it's more organic over time rather than what the current situation is regarding Japanese booster boxes. So that's one thing to look at with VStar Universe. But if you want to know what's been going on with the brand new set that's coming out of Obsidian Flames, make sure to click on this video right here. And if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, guys, that is it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.